past, we have been appointed as SAs, as special assistants, senior special assistant. That we must say is good, but we now want the best and the ability, the opportunity for us to participate effectively in governance. Every person with disability who are qualified has the capacity to function in the federal executive cabinet. It has never happened before. And I want to use this opportunity to call on the incoming government to ensure that at least one person with disability is appointed as the minister, a minister in the federal cabinet. And we want to also use this opportunity to call on governors to ensure the appointment of persons with disability as commissioners. I have I've had interface with a few governor-elects directly, and I have made this proposal, and I want to also assure you that one or two of them have committed to see the possibility of ensuring that we have at least a commissioner. So let me read the statement then. At the onset of preparation for 2023 general election, TAF-Africa, through the European Union support for democratic governance in Nigeria, the USDGN2 program, built the capacity of persons with disability, the PWD, who decided to contest for elected positions across states in the country on leadership, political engagement, and crowdfunding. Though none of the engaged PWD candidates won the poll, their willingness to contest is a strong message that persons with disability are capable of contesting for election in their various states and at the national level, and will be willing to perform when given the opportunities. It's unfortunate that out of the 34 members of the community that contested this election, none of them won. But we are also taking it upon ourselves to push further. I want to say that I'm in conversation with the government of Ondo in particular to see what can be done to ensure that persons with disability will not lose out completely. We are eyeing the various local government elections, and we're going to push for persons with disability to contest as chairman of local governments, as councillors. You know, if we lose this, we go for what is the low-hanging fruit. So with the end of 2023 general election and the emergence of elected individuals, an opportunity to drive disability inclusion and strengthen the political voices of persons with disability in Nigeria political process has been birthed. These elected individuals have a duty to entrench disability inclusion in their governance by making their political appointment disability inclusive, by being appointed as ministers, as commissioners, heads of parastatals, special advisors, etc. Persons with disability are empowered to take their place alongside other citizens in affecting wide-ranging policies that it affects disability inclusion. And it is said, nothing about us without us relies solely on the principles of participation. No policy should be decided by any representative without the full and direct participation of members of the group affected by that policy. In other words, you cannot make policy for us, for people you don't know, without ensuring that we're part of the process. Hence, the need for disability inclusion in every sphere of government. I repeat, there's a need for disability inclusion in every sphere of government. There is no one presidential candidate or governor that did not have the vote of persons with disability. It could be one, it could be two, it could be five, it could be 1,000. We contributed to the current position you have, whether you're the president-elect or the governor-elect. There is what I can assure you, that a vote of persons with disability put you there, and therefore you cannot make decisions and you exclude us. We wish to express our disappointment that despite the disability inclusion interventions at the national level, the transition committee of the president-elect has no representation of the community of persons with disability. This is disheartening. This is disheartening. And I know that the president-elect and his team will listen to this broadcast. It is, it's said that the time is always right to do what is right. We're not reporting you, we're not angry, but we're saying, please include us. It's not late to appoint a person with disability into the committee so that we can better advise you. This could have been a unique opportunity to break down social stigma by ensuring that persons with disability appear alongside with other citizens as active participants in the transition process of the president-elect. Again, I know that you're listening, and I know you have a listening ear. Mr. President-elect, appoint person with disability in your transition committee. I think the current president started by making that mistake, by putting together the transition committee, and we have no presence of persons with disability. You can correct that mistake right now. And even the sitting president can also correct that mistake by bending backward and appointing persons with disability into the transition committee. As the world beams its torchlight on disability inclusion in the electoral processes, we call on governor-elect, the president-elect, governor-elect, and all elected individuals in the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, to take the opportunity of the vast awareness and global intervention available to collaborate and commit to driving disability inclusion in their governance by appointing persons with disability to become political office holders in their respective states. Let me put a caveat that we are asking you to appoint those who are qualified, and there are many, countless individuals who are qualified to be appointed. Let me also state here categorically that Jake Epele, I'm not looking for the appointment. Don't bother putting my name because I'll turn it down. I'm not interested in the appointment. I think I'm getting old enough to allow the younger ones to take the opportunity. So this is not an advocacy to seek position. I repeat, I will turn it down. There are a lot of persons with disability who are qualified. One of them, two of them are here, and several others. They need to take that position. So we also want to encourage all elected individuals to prioritize the appointment of persons with disability who contested for position during the 2023 general election but could not make it at the poll. We wish to emphasize that political appointment of persons with disability should not be based just on their disability status, but on their capacity and competence to drive positive change in the political office, irrespective of their disability status. It is not right for you to give an opportunity to an individual because on the basis of charity. Don't appoint anyone just because he has albinism, just because he's blind, just because he's sitting on a wheelchair, but based on the capacity they will bring to the table, and many of them have that capacity. It should be recalled that Section 29 of the Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Prohibition Act 2018 provides that all employment of labor in a public organization should be, as much as possible, have persons with disability constituting at least 5% of their employment. In other words, if we want to really apply this law, that means among all the ministers appointed, 5% of that number should be persons with disabilities. But we are being real. We are not saying that should take place right now. We can compromise and say, at least give us one person. give us 1%. 1% is less than 1%, but we'll make do with that at the ministerial level. But at the commissioners level, by the governors, of course, you can appoint more than 1%, but at least 1%. We appreciate the effort of patriotic Nigerian organizations of persons with disability and civil society in intensifying awareness creation on disability inclusion in the electoral process and providing the needed assistance for persons with disability in Nigeria. The war against discrimination against persons with disability can only be won when institutions, government, and the people collectively collaborate, say no to nuances of discrimination, and active campaign for the rights of persons with disability, thereby building an equitable society for all. Well, this is where I'll end. And I will say to you that everyone who is listening to me, not only those who are in this room, but those who will watch this broadcast, that the day you were born, you cried, the whole world rejoiced. We must live our lives that the day we die, you will rejoice and the whole world will cry. That's a life of contribution. Mr. President-elect, you would have contributed to building everlasting legacy by being the first president to appoint a person with disability as your minister. Mr. Governor, you will make a huge mark by being the first governor in Nigeria to appoint a person with disability as a commissioner. Who says you cannot do it? You can do it. Where there is a will, there will indeed be a way. So I want to say to Nigerians, God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.